Well, it's been a long time, right? Since well, it hasn't been a long time. I guess it has been about what, 7 days? Because I've been busy. I think it's been more than 7 days. I've been busy playing Forza Horizon 6, and of course, doing a video walkthrough commentary for 007 First Light. I figured it's time that we do some super ultra wide flying from Miami to Los Angeles. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to finish this flight, but at least, you know, it'll be interesting to see how long can I do it. It'll be a long flight. I mean, what's now 6 o'clock? We won't land in Los Angeles till 11 o'clock. So can I make it from 6 o'clock till 11? Yo, dude. I mean, I'll try, but I don't know. We'll see. For those of you who are on a laptop, I would suggest a full screen, so that way you can have a letterbox, you know, like a movie letterbox experience. I think you will notice, even on a letterbox, you will notice like just the field of view that you get versus 16:9. But also you got to understand the field of view that I'm getting. It's 50-inch diagonal. Now you are getting a little squeezed letterbox that's trying to fit into your 16:9 ratio. So you just imagine how cool this is for me. Like I said, super ultra wide 50-inch monitors or 57-inch monitors, which are ridiculous. It's something that you have to like see in person, and the best way to experience these super ultra wide monitors to sit very close to them. You know, you pull up a chair, you put it on the desk, and you sit very close to it, and you will get such an immersive, almost like an IMAX experience. But that's something that you have to see for yourself, you know. But what I'm trying to do here, at least I'm trying to give you some field of view idea. I know you guys can't experience what I'm experiencing, but at least it will give you a field of view idea, at least. Same thing with PlayStation VR 2. You have to experience it in order to understand what's it feel like. What's it feel like? Like, people always say, "Well, what's it like? What's it like?" Well, it's like, what's it like driving a car? Unless you drive a car, you don't know. What's it like riding a bike? Unless you ride a bike, you don't know. What's it like climbing a mountain? What's it like diving in the ocean, right? Scuba diving. Unless you try it, you don't know. What's it like sailing on a boat? Unless you sailed on a boat, you don't know. So it's like, this applies to everything. Unless you have tried it, you don't know. Alright, so same goes for PlayStation VR 2, right? If you don't have a PlayStation VR 2, if you never tried it, then you really don't know. If you don't have an ultra wide, super ultra wide, then you really don't know. And that's the bottom line. that's really the bottom line with everything. Unless you have experienced it, you don't know. All right, so this is my favorite airplane, as you all know. And it's true, actually. What I'm saying here, you know, it's true. It's truth. You know, unless you try it, you really don't know. This applies to everything in life. I'm sure we all can agree on that. All right, so this is my favorite plane, as you all know, Airbus A330. You have seen me fly with this plane on PlayStation VR 2 a couple of times. Actually, more than a couple of times, 3 times actually. You've seen me fly this Airbus A330 3 times, and I have successfully landed 3 times and made my successful three flights with this plane. A330 is a pretty big plane. It's bigger than A320 and A321. It's much wider and it's bigger. The engine, it's also bigger as well. Just to give you a little bit of a reference, like I give you a little reference in size, it's pretty big. That's what she said. Let's remove the covers. Hey, look how big it is. It's huge. So I'm running this on a 3840 by 1080 ultra wide with high settings. And it runs pretty good. Considering that I'm using a gaming laptop, but also shows you how powerful this gaming laptop is, that I'm able to run this in a 3840 by 1080 resolution with high settings. That's pretty impressive. Because running a Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 on a high settings on a PC, it's, you know, you need a powerful PC, especially if you're running at a very you know, high resolution. And in this case, this is a high resolution 3840 by 1080 with a 32 by 9 ratio with a high setting, so it's pretty impressive for a gaming laptop. I'm sure even you guys would agree. Yeah, it's pretty impressive. There's my name, Mr. 4K. So what are my specs on this Asus? This gaming laptop is now 3 years old. I got it in 2023. When I got it in 2023, it was pretty hot, and I think it's still kind of hot. It has a 4070. It has a 40 series RTX card, GPU, 4070, and it has a i9 processor, 9th generation i9 processor, and yeah, a very powerful i9 processor. So when you combine the i9, very powerful i9 9th generation processor with a 4070 and 16 gigs of RAM, this gaming laptop's pretty powerful, honestly. You've seen me play Forza Horizon 6 and an ultra wide. You know, you've seen me play other games. Everything looks good. I think everything gets removed. All the covers are removed. We're good. So, I mean, I'm pretty happy with this Republic of Gamers. Let me tell you, if you guys are looking for a really good gaming laptop, ROG, Republic of Gamers, man, they're pretty good. Even their, entry-level Asus TUF, it's still pretty good. I have both. I have two, actually, both of them. I have the Asus TUF Gaming, which also has the RTX 3050 Ti, and it actually runs video games pretty good. Not at a high resolution, but at pretty decent resolution, like 1440p, medium settings. It can easily run games. But this one obviously is more premium gaming laptop. But both of these Asus laptops are pretty good. But of course, ROG G16 Strix, it's more powerful. Well, let's put it this way. It's more powerful than PS5 Pro and Xbox Series X. So there you have it. I think that should comfort you. Well, of course it is. It's a 4070, and it's an i9 processor. So yeah. All right, let's go inside. The reason I'm telling you this because I want you to know what type of gaming laptop I'm using. I think you should know. All right, here we are. We are inside the cockpit. And look at this, man. Look at how beautiful the field of view is. I get to see everything. Let me turn on. There we go. So there's a couple of things here I have to do. Let's go to the ground. Let's turn on the cabin lights because we'll need them. Toggle GPU. Okay. We also need a our first officer to be here as well, right? Where's my first officer? Well, let's bring out the first officer. Who is the first officer? Well, our first officer is the co-pilot. All right. Well, let's go to our payload and fuel. Configure. Let's make sure we got plenty of fuel. Seats. We want to make sure we have everyone on board. Okay. And we want to load the aircraft, save configuration, and there we go. There's my first officer right there. Okay, so then let's go back over here to my route. Okay. All right, there it is. You can also adjust this, You can adjust the size of this. Here's another thing you can do with a PC. Like if you have a second monitor next to your ultra wide, you can actually drag this to your second monitor, and you can just look at the map on your second monitor, and you can make your experience even more immersive. See, this is the advantage that the PC has versus a console, because with the PC you can use a mouse and keyboard. You can connect more monitors to extend this experience, right? And you can drag this to your second monitor, right? So there's a lot of there's a lot of things you can do with the PC version. I mean, the PC version is the ultimate version. Let's just make sure that's a fact. I mean, I love the fact that we can play it on a console. I love the fact that we can play it on a PlayStation and the Xbox Series X and S and PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 5 Pro and the PlayStation VR 2. This is all amazing. But if you want like the best experience, PC version, obviously, it's the best version. But just understand this. Depending on what kind of experience do you want on the PC, it will be very expensive. So you have to understand that. This is a very expensive experience. If you want an ultra wide, if you want to have, all of these components that comes with, the PC version, the flight controllers and all the other add-ons, right? And they have so many add-ons. And then, what type of PC are you looking to build? What type of GPU? You're going to need some powerful GPU. So PC experience is expensive, of course, but it's the best experience. If you can't afford it, there's no question about it. The PC experience is obviously the best, but it will cost you money. It's expensive. Okay, let's request a taxi to remain in pattern. I don't think I need a pushback, do I? Oh yeah, I will need a pushback. Oh, I will certainly need a pushback. Oh, yes, sir. We're going to need a pushback. Didn't I already? Well, let's first request passenger boarding, just to make it more realistic.
Ground, M4K Golf Mike Alpha 197. Could you please get the passengers on board?
M4K Golf Mike Alpha 197. The jetway is going to be connected.
And we'll see the passengers making their way. There they are. You can see them right there. They're making their way to my plane, Mr. 4K Airbus 330. I like going through all of these procedures because it makes it more realistic. Now imagine how realistic this is on a PlayStation VR 2. Let me tell you, it's a whole new level, you know, playing this on a PlayStation VR 2. Like, you have to try it. Now, like I said before, one of the main reasons why I would like to have a PS5 Pro, it's honestly because of PlayStation VR 2. To take the advantage of, you know, PlayStation VR 2, Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, and mainly for this game. And of course, you know, Gran Turismo 7, absolutely. I mean, Gran Turismo 7 already takes the advantage of benefit of PS5 Pro. It reduces the what you call that, foveated rendering. It makes it cleaner and makes it more vivid, sharper, and cleaner. And people have told me, yo, dude, with the PS5 Pro, like Gran Turismo 7 is just next level. You can almost smell the dashboard on the Porsche 911. Dude, it's like, yo. And I'm pretty sure Asobo will take the advantage of PS5 Pro. And I mean, let's be honest, how much more powerful is PS6 going to be than PS5 Pro? Like, is it going to be a super drastic difference in terms of graphics? I think what we're going to see with PS6 is just higher frame rates with the ray tracing. But it's still, they're going to be using dynamic scaling, PSSSR 3 or whatever they call it, you know, probably PSSSR 3. And then, you know, is PS5 Pro enough? I think it is, honestly. I think you're good. You're good, man. Even with the PS6, you're good. Like, if you have a PS5 Pro, I wouldn't even bother buying a PS6, bro. I think you're just good. I think you're good. You can skip PS6. Because those are small nuances, you know. Unless you really care about 60 frames. But you can still do 60 frames with PS5 Pro, right? With some ray tracing, you know, here and there. It's just, it's going to be a small nuances in real. Remember, when it comes to dynamic scaling, guys, and I don't want to, you know, sound like a digital foundry here, but these are small nuances that your eyes cannot see, dude. Sitting 7 feet away from a television. I mean, you really have to use a magnifying glass to see the difference. And why do you think they're constantly zooming in? Like, whenever Digital Foundry, it's like giving you some examples, they constantly have to zoom in to show you the difference. So what I'm essentially saying is, if you have a PS5 Pro, man, I would skip PS6, in my honest opinion. Now, VR is different. PlayStation VR is different because you're putting it on your head. It's a VR. It's a goggle. So it will certainly, having an extra horsepower will help increase the resolution and increase the performance and increase the fidelity of the graphics. So yes, for PlayStation VR 2, all right, maybe you want to get PlayStation 6 if they decide to take the advantage of PlayStation 6 hardware with the PlayStation VR 2, or maybe they'll just create a new PlayStation VR 3, which I think honestly that's probably what they will do. They'll probably create a PlayStation VR 3 with a PlayStation 6. So you'll just have to wait for that. Why? So they can make more money. That's just Sony's thinking. And that's my thinking as well. But what I'm saying, for those of you who already spent your hard-earned cash, dude, like close to $1,000, man. That's a lot of money, dude. $1,000 for PS5 Pro. I think you're good, man. I would just skip on PS6. Unless, you know, you really need to have the best of the best and you don't care. And even if it's a little bit of a bump into a resolution, and you need to have a little bit of that bump of resolution, even though you're not going to see the difference between 1440p and 1600p, but hey, if you want to have dynamic scaling resolution from 1440p to 1600p, then go ahead. But just remember this, guys. Even on a PC, I can't tell a difference on a deep learning supersampling between 1440p and 1600p. Like 1440p, it's a balanced deep learning supersampling. Quality, it's a 1600p. And I can't tell a difference. Unless I'm like really like zooming in using a Hubble telescope or magnifying glass like a digital foundry, like that's like the only way. But remember, on a console, you're sitting 7 feet away, right? You're sitting 7 feet away. Even on your bedroom, you're about like 6 feet away, 7 feet away, right? So you're not going to tell a difference. So if you're not going to tell a drastic difference, I always ask this question. Even for those of you who have a base PS5, right? You know you're not going to tell a difference in terms of graphics, you know. So, like, then what's the point, right? But you're going to say, but what about you? Why do you need it then, Mr. 4K? Well, I already told you why I would like to have a PS5 Pro. Because of the PlayStation VR 2. Because I already know that the PlayStation VR 2 is benefiting from the power that the PS5 Pro has, you know. Anyway, this is just, you know, this is just my my opinion on the whole PS5 Pro. Like I said, I don't have it, and you know, but based on what I have researched, you know, I just don't know if PS6 is going to be worth, you know, paying whatever Sony is going to be asking. And let's be honest, Sony is going to be asking some ridiculous amount of money for the PS6, and you're probably going to say, no thank you, dude, like I'm okay. You know what I mean? unless the money's not an issue, right? Alright, so the passengers have boarded. They have boarded inside. Maybe I should just go check and see and make sure that they're all in there. This is a first class. I guess no one can afford first class. Actually, it's kind of realistic. With today's economy, I don't blame people for not using the first class, because first class, it is expensive. But anyway, I think they're right here. Yeah, they're all the way out in the back. They're all the way out in the back. I see them. Alright. That's fine. It's a pretty big plane. You know, A330. AnyBuilds has really done a great job. But you especially like on a PlayStation VR 2, you appreciate just like the size of this airplane. Like I said, experiencing this airplane on a PlayStation VR 2, it's like it's a whole new level. All right, I think it's time for us to request a pushback. And of course, in order for me to use the pushback, I'll have to also release the brake.
Ground, number 4K Golf, Mike Alpha 197, requesting pushback.
4K Golf Mike Alpha 197. Pushback request accepted.
Yeah, I need him to steer to the left.
Ground, number 4K Golf, Mike Alpha 197, requesting pushback tug to steer the aircraft to the left.
4K Golf Mike Alpha 197. Your request has been transmitted to the operator.
Right, good.
Ground, number 4K Golf, Mike Alpha 197, requesting the end of pushback.
4K Golf Mike Alpha 197. Request to end pushback received.
Ground, number 4K Golf, Mike Alpha 197 with Echo. Request taxi to the active. Departure to the north.
4K Golf Mike Alpha 197. Taxi to and hold short of runway 10 left using taxiway Tango Tango 5 Charlie Echo Bravo Bravo 2. Contact tower on 119er decimal tree when ready.
Okay.
Taxiing. Hold short runway 10 left via taxiway Tango Tango 5 Charlie Echo Bravo Bravo 2. Number 4K Golf Mike Alpha 197.
All right. So before we continue, there's a couple of things I got to do here really quick. Let's see. Everything's good. Things good. Lower rendering. Hold on. No, not an ultra, man. Has to be high. Everything needs to be set at high. Yeah, balanced at high. Yeah. Okay. That's better. Yeah, that's much better. All right, I guess we can proceed now. Yeah, pushing it all the way to ultra, just too much. Okay, we're ready. We can zoom in a little bit so we can see where we're going. So what do I prefer? Virtual reality or ultra wide? I mean, they're both good, but you have to understand virtual reality is just it's the most realistic because you are inside a cockpit. It's the most immersive because you are inside a cockpit. You're inside the plane. and it doesn't get any better than that. You know what I mean? Look at the size of A330 versus 737. Just look at the size reference. Look at that. I need to stop here. I need to give some space.
M4K Golf Mike Alpha 197. Hold position. Caution the Boeing 737 on the taxiway.
Well, now you're telling me that.
M4K Golf Mike Alpha 197. Continue taxi.
Should have told me that earlier.
Hold position. M4K Golf Mike Alpha 197.
Should have told me that earlier. Alright, we're almost there. Everything's smooth so far. So good. Yeah, the field of view is really nice. Absolutely. Hold on, we might have to hold short here because there's another plane. Why is ATC not telling me anything? ATC should have told me.
Tower, before takeoff, Mike Alpha 197. Ready for north departure at runway 10 left.
Before takeoff, Mike Alpha 197, hold short runway 10 left. Traffic is Boeing 737 on the runway.
Hold short runway 10 left. Before takeoff, Mike Alpha 197.
You see, this is the issue with the ATC. I already knew that I have to hold a short on runway because I can see with my own two eyes. There's an airplane right there. But the ATC, it took it, what, like a minute. It took it 1 minute for the ATC to acknowledge to me that there's an airplane there.
Before takeoff, Mike Alpha 197, line up and wait. Before takeoff, Mike Alpha 197. Did you hear my last transmission?
Yeah, I did. I heard you.
Oasis 208, contact Miami departure on 119.7. Good day.
Yes, I heard you. I heard your.
Wait, before takeoff, Mike Alpha 197.
I heard your transmission. And why are we holding? What's the?
208, acknowledge last transmission.
See, the ATC is broken. Honestly, I don't understand why we holding. I mean, there's no traffic.
9.7 for Bahamas 208.
I'm just saying, I don't see any traffic. What are we holding? Line up and wait. Oh, okay. That's why we had to wait. That's exactly why.
Southwest 8907, exit runway when able.
What about me? Can I? I should be able to get to the runway now, right? Shouldn't be a problem.
Southwest 897, exit runway when able. Southwest 897, exit runway when able.
Why aren't we getting the clearance? I don't understand. What's going on? Like, we should have the clearance.
Before takeoff, Mike Alpha 197, altimeter 2989er north departure approved. Cleared for takeoff runway 10 left.
Oh, thank God.
Southwest 897.
Thank God, we can take off now.
10 left. Before takeoff, Mike Alpha 197.
Alright, we're ready for takeoff.
Going to 121.7, Southwest 897.
Gears up. Flaps up.
Before takeoff, Mike Alpha 197, continue for north departure.
Tower, before takeoff, Mike Alpha 197. Continue for north departure.
Before takeoff, Mike Alpha 197, leaving my airspace. Frequency change approved.
Tower, before takeoff, Mike Alpha 197. Frequency change. Miami approach, before takeoff, Mike Alpha 197 is type. 3 miles east of 6 Foxtrot Delta 8, 1700. Request flight following.
Before takeoff, Mike Alpha.
This looks really good in an ultra wide, I have to admit.
Before takeoff, Mike Alpha 197.
Before takeoff, Mike Alpha 197. Radar contact 4 miles east of Delta Tango 1, 2100. Altimeter 2989er.
Roger, before takeoff, Mike Alpha 197.
Before takeoff, Mike Alpha 197, contact Miami Center on 12.775. Good day.
12tree.775 for MRFOURKAY Golf Mike Alpha 1907.
It's really nice. This is great. You know, it's just you have a much better fidelity view. Obviously, with a much higher ratio of 32:9, you know, you have that nice wide range of left and right field of view, and it just looks better, in my opinion. I'm sure you guys will agree. It just looks better. You know, if you try to squeeze it to 16:9, then you go back into that square box, and then, you know, you lose the fidelity field of view of left and right. And look how much you have here. You just see more in the distance. I mean, ultra wide is perfect for Microsoft Flight Simulator. If you're someone who is really like serious about Microsoft Flight Simulator and that's all you care about is just playing Microsoft Flight Simulator, and money's not an issue, and you're like, man, I want to have the best of the best, this is, honestly, you can't go wrong with this. But that's if you're like really serious about investing, like, you know, one of those what you call it, flight simulator enthusiasts. You know, if you're like a flight sim enthusiast, and you don't care what the price is, you don't care how much you have to pay, you want to have the best of the best, right? Well, you have to have a ultra wide, and you should get probably the best ultra wide screen. You should get a 57-inch OLED ultra wide, and I think LG has a 57-inch OLED, and just enjoy it. I mean, you certainly will enjoy it. There's no question, and especially if you have like a 5090 with a 5090, right, an i9 processor, and let's say 32 gigs of RAM, you should be able to really have a great fidelity view here with a 57-inch, especially when you're sitting close. When you're sitting close, this is even more immersive. And what I'm trying to do on this live stream, I'm trying to give you like a letterboxed version of this, but just try to understand, when you're staring at the 50-inch ultra wide up close, it's a whole different ball game. Well, like I said, this is really for those of you who are like serious. I like to use the word serious about being a flight simulator enthusiast, right? And there's a lot of flight simulator enthusiasts out there, and they don't care. The same thing goes for, like, if you love racing, like for the racing games, Assetto Corsa Competition, Forza Horizon, right? iRacing, of course. Yeah, ultra wide, it's worth it. But it's not just for flight simulators. It's not just for simulators. I mean, American Truck Simulator, of course, Euro Truck Simulator, the bus simulator, train simulator, any kind of simulator. This will do. This will do. Trust me. If you love simulations, this will do. I heard they're working on a ship simulator, so when the ship simulator comes out, I think later on this summer, or by the end of this summer, I don't know, they might push the date back to September or October, I don't know. They haven't set the date. They say possibly by the end of summer, maybe the fall. I'm thinking probably September, October. We might see it, the ship simulator, whenever it comes out. This will do, of course. Ultra wide will be a excellent choice. But it's not just for simulators. Yeah, this is really specifically for simulator. This is like you must have. There's no question about it. But even if you are not playing simulator games, it's still great for like FIFA. If you play FIFA, playing FIFA on an ultra wide, man, it's a whole different ball game. Seeing the entire field, bro, fidelity view of the entire stadium, the entire field. You can see your players on the field. It's just better. Same thing with the NBA. I mean, I played NBA 2K 26. I played NBA 2K 26, and it looks amazing. Dude, it's like a whole different ball game, dude. You see the entire arena from left to right. It's just a whole different ball game. And of course, same goes for Madden, So it's not just for simulators. It's also good for sports games. If you love sports games, but it's mainly intended for simulators. But again, you can use it for sports games. Games like Call of Duty and Battlefield, Fortnite. I mean, you can use it for anything, for any type of game. I think as long as the video game supports this ratio, 32:9, I think you're good. Now, just keep in mind one thing. Not every game will support this ratio. Some games, they don't support this ratio, 32:9. They support a little bit of a lower ratio. Okay. I think some of them, they support 21:9, which is still good, but it doesn't fill the entire screen. But there's a good list of games out there that support 32 by 9. Like Assassin's Creed Shadows looks amazing. Uh, Avatars, Pandora's Frontier, Star Wars Outlaws. Just looks amazing, right? On a 32 by 9. And of course, Starfield looks amazing. So, there's plenty of reasons why you want to get this ultra wide. It's not just for the simulators, but mainly for the simulators. This is the best. But also for Call of Duty, Battlefield, sports games, racing games, American Truck, Euro Truck, Train Simulator. So the reason I'm telling you this, in case you're wondering, is it worth it? I think it is. But remember, not every game supports 32 by 9. You need to double check, I personally think every game should support 32 by 9 option. I mean, I think good number of them nowadays they do, because ultra wide has become more of a standard. A lot of people are buying ultra wide. When I first got mine was like, well, when did I got mine? Was I have to say 2018. I think I'd say 2018. 2018. Like, yeah, 2018. It was around 2018. And ever since I've got it in 2018, I enjoyed it. I mean, I'm still using it. Clearly, I'm still using it. But when I got it in 2018, remember, ultra wide was just kind of like starting to, show up on the market. Not every people, not every people, not everyone had the ultra wide, and it wasn't like established as like a new standard. So that's what I mean by not everyone had the ultra wide. But now there's more people with the ultra wide, and And when I got mine in I believe it was 2018, it wasn't that many games available that support this resolution. I think Battlefield was the one that supported it. American Truck supported it.
March Airport Information, Oscar. 2300 Zulu. Wind calm. Visibility. Tree. Sky condition. View clouds at 2,600. View clouds at 5,000.
But there was a lot of...
View clouds at 14,600. Temperature. 20. Dew point. 10.
But there was a lot of...
9 or 2.
there was a lot of games that didn't support this ratio, So it kind of sucked for me, because I had to kind of use different methods to stretch out the image, because like some games were at the 21 by 9, and what I was able to do, I was able to stretch. It's still not bad. So I was able to stretch out to 21 by 9 and fit 21 by 9 into 32 by 9. But I had to use some methods, via my Samsung advanced picture settings to stretch out the image a little bit to fit 32 by 9 ratio. Look at that view. Amazing, huh? But look how much you can see in the distance. Look at that. So what do I prefer? Well, I still prefer. I prefer virtual reality, because virtual reality puts you right inside the cockpit, and that's the whole point, right? To be inside the cockpit, that's the whole point. The whole idea is to be inside the game, right? And the best experience is when you're sitting inside a cockpit with virtual reality, because you feel like you're really there. It's just a different experience. But this is good, But I still think VR is better, in my honest opinion. Just remember, VR, it's cheaper. Buying a PSVR 2 is cheaper than buying these ultra-wide monitors. So think about that. Or buying a MetaQuest 3, it's cheaper than buying these ultra-wide monitors. Okay, so you have to take that in consideration. But just remember, virtual reality gives you that like most immersive experience, while the ultra-wide, it certainly is going to give you a great fidelity view and a great detail, but at the same time, you're still staring at the monitor. You're not like inside the game. So which one's better? In my opinion, VR, virtual reality, it's always going to be better. But that's just my opinion on it. Because everyone's different. Some people don't like wearing a VR headset, especially if you're doing a very long flight like this, flying from Miami to Los Angeles, which will take us about, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hours. We won't get there till like 11 o'clock. Maybe 11 o'clock. I don't know. Maybe 11:30, I think it's like a 5-hour flight. But I'm probably thinking 11:30, dude. So 11:30, right? You have to wear a headset for nearly 6 hours, dude. Because, you remember, we're going from East Coast to West Coast. That's close to 6 hours, man. Some people don't want to wear a headset for like 6 hours, and I don't blame them. Like, yo, dude, you want me to fly? Okay, from Miami to LA, 6 hours. Like, I think it's about 6 hours. So we won't get there till like midnight. Yeah, for sure. So I think about it, all at midnight. So from 6 till midnight. Yo, dude, that's 6 hours, bro. 6 p.m. till 6 p.m. till midnight, 12 a.m. 6 hours of flying, dude. And then you have to wear a VR headset. 6 hours. from 6 p.m. till 12 a.m. midnight, which would be midnight 12 a.m.
March airport information, Papa. 23000. Wind calm. Visibility. Tree. Sky condition. Few clouds at 2,000.
So some people prefer this. They're like, man, I would rather prefer this. I would prefer this because at least I can relax, kick back, listen to some music. At least I don't have to wear a headset.
Landing and departing runway tree 2. VFR aircraft say direction of flight. All aircraft read back, hold short instructions. Advise controller on initial contact you have Papa.
I don't even know if I'm going to do this entire like 6-hour flight, to be honest with you, because I'm kind of tired. I woke up like yesterday at like 2 in the morning, so you know what I mean, dude. Now we're crossing the Gulf of Mexico, or Gulf of America. I will always remember it as the Gulf of Mexico, to be honest. I think everyone always will remember it as the Gulf of Mexico. I mean, after 47 years, you can't expect me now to all of a sudden start calling it Gulf of America. I'm sorry, dude. All I know is Gulf of Mexico for 47 years. That's all I will ever know. I don't understand this whole nonsense. Changing the name. Like, it's so stupid, man. It's so stupid. Like, it's a Gulf of Mexico. Come on, man. "47 years. Yeah, I'm supposed to now think of it as Gulf of America. It'll always be a Gulf of Mexico, because that's what everyone remembers it. And of course, we have to cross the Gulf of Mexico to, you know, to pass the East Texas. And then from East Texas, of course, we can work our way up to, you know, New Mexico, Arizona, and then, you know, get to California. So we're leaving the west coast of Florida. I'm sorry, I meant to say Arizona, Nevada. We have to, yeah, we have to pass Nevada, of course. And then, because Nevada, it's in border with California. So we have to pass Arizona, so West Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, Nevada, and then California. But this is going to be a long flight. A long flight. I don't know, I just felt like just showing you how it looks, you know, in a ultra wide. I mean, honestly, that was the whole point of this. Really, I didn't even like plan on like doing this entire flight for 6 hours. I just felt like, well, let me at least show them a little bit, like how it looks on an ultra wide, you know. Even though I know you don't have an ultra wide screen, so you really can't tell. But on this letterbox, when you know, select the full screen, with this letterbox, I think you will see the fidelity between left and right side of the screen. And I think that'll give you some good idea, like how immersive this is. So like I said, hopefully this short little 1 hour and whatever 1 hour and 15-minute live stream will at least give you some idea how ultra wide is, you know, and how it looks on that letterbox screen. If I wasn't tired, I certainly would have finished this for you guys. Maybe we'll see some UFOs, huh? As you can see, fidelity view is just remarkable. Everything you need to see, you can see. It's all here, all the switches on the top, at the bottom. I'm really looking forward to a ship simulator. Yeah, when was the last time we had a ship simulator, right? I'm glad that finally someone is making a ship simulator. Honestly, I was like, thank God, because we have all these other simulators, but I'm like, where's the ship simulator? I forgot the name of the company, but they're working on it. I don't know when the release date is. They said maybe by the end of summer, possibly the fall, like maybe September, October. I'm probably thinking September, October. It's a ship simulator video game. So I'm looking forward to that. All right, guys. I think I have to go. I have to go to bed. I have to go to sleep. I have to go to sleep, man. I've been up since 2 in the morning working on those videos for 007 First Light. I will, I will do an episode 13 on tomorrow, Saturday. So we'll continue episode 13, part 13, episode 13, and the game is really good. Its story is written really well. I'm trying to figure out whom I can trust in the MI6, and who's that lady, Miss Roth, and then who's the guy with the mask. Was he one of the 00 agents? Because remember, it wasn't just the 009, from what I understand, from what the Greenway says. There was other agents that he was supposed to hunt down that turned rogue. So it wasn't just the 009. There was some other agents. Maybe the guy with the gold mask, the golden mask. Maybe he's also one of those agents. Maybe I mean, I don't know. Well, that's the beauty. I mean, it keeps you guessing. I can only speculate. But that's what makes 007 First Light so unique in terms of storytelling. So, if you want to know in more detail what I think about the game, you should watch those videos. I don't want to talk about it here because I don't want to rehash something that I already have explained in the videos. Go watch those videos; it's all there. But I'll talk more about it, on the episode 13, part 13 tomorrow. But yeah, look, guys, the whole point of this was just for me to show you a little bit, like, to give you some idea of ultra wide, just like I did with Forza Horizon 6, just to give you a little bit of an idea what ultra wide really looks like. I have some more videos. I've done also a Grand Canyon in a super ultra wide with Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. Like I said, this will only give you some idea in terms of like a field of view, but until you actually see this in person, then you really don't know, But once you see it in person, then you will say, "Oh my God, this is remarkable." Field of view real estate, right? I mean, look how much real estate you have here. I don't have to zoom in, dude. I can just turn left and right, and it's all there. Everything I can see, I can see. So, and that's the whole point of the ultra wide is the real estate. You want that extra space, so you can see left and right, so you can see everything. And ultra wide certainly will help you see everything, especially when it comes to simulators, flight simulator, American truck simulator, train simulator, bus simulator, of course. What was the other game that I was talking about? Call of Duty, of course. Especially Call of Duty, because you can see where the enemy is, where the other players are hiding. Battlefield 6, same thing. Fortnite, right? In my opinion, I think I already said this before I go. It's not just for simulators. Yes, for the simulators, this is a must-have. This is probably the best. But even if you are not someone, who doesn't play simulators, I think even your World of Warcraft, you will benefit. Playing Diablo, you're going to benefit. Playing Crimson Desert, you will benefit. Playing Elden Ring, you will benefit. So it's not just for simulators. It's for all of the video games. Sports games, like I said, I played NBA 2K26. Looks amazing. I played Madden. I played FIFA, FC 26. Formula 1 looks amazing. The racing games, of course, Assetto Corsa, Competizione, Forza Horizon 6, Test Drive Unlimited, etc., etc. Test Drive Unlimited Solo Crown, the Crew Motorfest, right? I think it's good for all of the games that support 32x9. So it's not just for the simulators, but it's best suited, right? It's best suited for simulators, like American Truck, Euro Truck, Flight Simulator, Train Simulator, and the upcoming Ship Simulator. Even for Grand Theft Auto, like playing Grand Theft Auto on ultra wide, man, it's a whole different ball game. Even Red Dead Redemption 2. Playing Red Dead Redemption 2 on ultra wide, man, it's a whole different ball game. And I'm not trying to sell you on the ultra wide. I'm not trying to sound like some sort of a salesman. I'm simply saying it's best suited for simulators like Microsoft Flight Simulator and other simulators. It's best suited for simulators and racing, games. But you can also use it for other games like sports games, Call of Duty, Battlefield, Fortnite, etc., etc. So there's plenty of reasons for you to purchase an ultra wide. I think you will benefit because every person whom I spoke to who has purchased an ultra wide, none of them said to me, "Oh my God, I regret this. This is a horrible decision that I made to buy this freaking giant ultra wide Godzilla of a monitor." None of them complained. They all said, "Yeah, man, this is great. I'm benefiting greatly with this field of view." So I haven't heard anyone complain about it. But, remember, not everything's for everyone. Some of you might not enjoy this ultra wide. Some of you may not like this kind of field of view, giant ultra wide. Everyone's different. You have to understand that. But I would recommend it. I think majority of you will benefit from this, from an ultra wide screen. With all of these games that I just mentioned, even a Diablo 4, World of Warcraft, you're going to benefit. So sports games, Call of Duty, Battlefield, flight simulators, Grand Theft Auto 5, But for a flight simulator, oh yeah. Like, dude, are you kidding me? Look at this. Look at this field of view. Come on, man. Look at this. Look at this field of view. Unbelievable, right? All right, guys. Well, it's been 1 hour and 30 minutes. I hope that this video at least gives you some idea of super ultra wide. I wish I could finish this stream, but I can't. I'm too tired. We might do this some other time, when I'm, full of energy and ready to rock and roll. But man, don't expect me to sit here till midnight. Yo. It will not be possible. Trust me. No amount of caffeine will be able to keep me up till midnight. Alright, and I'm sorry. I really apologize. I'm sorry, guys, but I'm tired. Wish I could stay, but fortunately. Unfortunately, I can't, and I apologize. I'm sorry. Okay, all right. Well, thank you for watching, and keep an eye on episode 13. Episode 13, part 13, for video walkthrough commentary for 007 First Light. Okay, the video will be probably up tomorrow morning, part 13. All right, and again, I'm sorry, I apologize that I can't finish this flight. I hope you guys understand. Thank you, and happy Friday, happy weekend. Okay, happy weekend, happy Friday.